Black Panther 2, aka Black Panther Wakanda Forever, has now officially resumed filming. As you may know, they've been on hiatus for a couple months now because Letitia Wright, one of the stars of the movie who plays Shuri, she was suffering from some onset injuries, so she took a break and the whole movie had to halt production. And also she was, of course, dealing with her controversies of her anti-vaccination stuff and all that, so they couldn't fly her to England or something like that, or London, wherever they're filming now. Apparently now she's gotten the vaccine because Disney paid her to do it. So now they're back on track and they are filming Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And today we have some pretty huge reports about this movie that don't really even have anything to do with, like, the Black Panther mantle at all. I know that's probably the big thing we've been talking about of, oh, is Shuri going to be the new Black Panther, or is it going to be somebody else? Today we're talking about the villains of the movie. And wow, this gets me excited because, of course, there's been rumblings for a while now that Black Panther Wakanda Forever will pit the Wakandans against Atlantis. And now we have some new reports from Bleeding Cool, who rarely post scoops but tend to be actually extremely reliable when they do, has now shared a few fresh pieces of intel. The site reveals that we should expect to see Namor the Submariner, his cousin Namora, and Atlantean warlord Atuma in this movie. Now, so far, that all makes sense. We've already heard previous rumors and rumblings about those characters appearing in this movie. I've done videos on it in the past. And apparently, Namor's role will actually be similar to Black Panther's in Captain America Civil War, where it's more of a, it's kind of a supporting role at that point, and it's actually likely to be setting up a solo outing of his own somewhere down the line, and that's specifically from this article. So supposedly they are setting up some sort of solo project for Namor the Submariner. I'll be interested to see if it's going to be a movie or a series on Disney+. We know, of course, that Tinoch Huerta is going to be playing the character, so that's going to be interesting. Of course, there's also some controversies with him, but then things get more interesting here, because that already is great. I love that we're getting Namor and Atlantis versus Wakanda. That's going to be amazing. But this is the big one, because then the site also reiterates previous rumors that Black Panther Wakanda Forever will introduce Fantastic Four villain Doctor Doom. They've heard that his presence will be a minor one, likely to imply that Latveria's leader was responsible for Wakanda and Atlantis squaring off. Marvel Studios has reportedly been working on a costume, so chances are we'll at least catch a glimpse of Victor Von Doom in this film. So already, I'm loving that right there, because this whole Doctor Doom thing is something that's been rumored for a while now for this movie, but the whole time I kind of thought it was just like wishful thinking from fans of like, oh, hey, it'd be cool, just because, you know, like Latveria and confirming all that, especially since now Disney owns Fox and they can actually do that, and we know we're getting a Fantastic Four movie in a couple years, directed by John Watts. So now, according to Bleeding Cool, this is actually happening and Doctor Doom is in this movie. And the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. And if he is in this movie, they do say that he'll have a minor role. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if he has anything more than a cameo, because they could totally do that. They can literally just have it be that maybe at the end of the movie there's just a reveal that for some reason Atlantis isn't actually villains. They were provoked in some way, and they were provoked by Latveria and Victor Von Doom, and that's how you can reveal Namor and set him up to be more of a, maybe not necessarily a hero, but an anti-hero, which actually gives us a reason to want a solo project with him, and him to not just be a fully fledged villain. So they could do that and explain it that Doctor Doom is behind it all, and then in either a post-credit scene or just the end of the movie, literally just flash over to Latveria, confirm the existence of Latveria, and basically reveal that Doctor Doom was the big bad villain of this whole thing in the first place, setting that character up for more. And it could really just be a simple scene. I mean, literally, they don't even have to have dialogue. It could literally just be like Doctor Doom sitting there on his throne, or like he's standing somewhere and then all of a sudden he turns around and you just see that metal face and the hood and everything. That would be cool. Or they could have some dialogue. I don't know, that'd be interesting as well. Again, setting up this character for more in the future. We haven't heard anything about castings yet, though, either. And that is another interesting thing that I've been thinking about, though, as well, because if you have Doctor Doom in this movie and they're not going to do an origin, at least not like, you know, in this movie, they might do that later in maybe a Doctor Doom solo project or maybe in a Fantastic Four movie. But if they're just skipping right ahead to Victor Von Doom already being Doctor Doom, ruler of Latveria, in the armor suit with the hood and everything in this movie, the status that he's at this point in time, then they could literally just do a voiceover. Like, whatever actor is cast in the role. Some of my top choices have been Adam Driver, Pedro Pascal, Giancarlo Esposito. Like, there's some great choices out there for Doctor Doom, but realistically, like, once he becomes Doctor Doom, you really just need a voiceover, because, like, the whole thing with Doctor Doom is, like, he doesn't take his mask off. Like, it's, in some versions, it's actually fused to his face. In other versions, it's just, like, his face is all, like, scarred up and stuff, so he doesn't want to take it off. So, like, once he becomes Doctor Doom, it really just needs to be a voiceover. So that could be why, supposedly, Doctor Doom is going to be in this movie, and we've heard nothing about it, nothing about castings for this role, because it could literally just be a voiceover. Same as with, Thomas Hayden Church and Rhys Ifans in Spider-Man No Way Home, how we had the return of Lizard and Sandman, but it was just CGI forms. Those actors were never actually on set. They just did the voiceovers, and that's why we never really heard much about those two actors being in that movie, because it was just simple voiceovers that never needed them to be on set. And that could be the same exact thing here. I mean, just literally get an actor, have them in a recording booth for like one afternoon, and boom, you got your Doctor Doom. I think that'd be so cool. Then again, I would like to see the actual actor as Victor Von Doom before he becomes Doctor Doom, but that would be, like I said, most likely a prequel to his appearance in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which I'm totally fine with. I mean, I'd love a Doctor Doom solo project, whether it is a movie or a series on Disney+. I'd love to see some Doctor Doom in the MCU. So everything right there is sounding amazing so far. And then we have a little bit more noted about Namor and Namora, who will not be played by white actors, as in the comics they actually are white. Namor, I believe, is actually Asian in the comics, or at least has Asian descent, so he's not going to be having that in this movie. In fact, the Atlanteans won't be blue at all, like their comic book counterparts, so this could explain previous reports, again, that Tenoch Huerta is going to be playing Namor. Atuma, meanwhile, is said to have a significant role here, and Atuma is the one that I'm a little disappointed in and won't be blue, because that's one of the things that makes him so cool in the comics, is because he's literally just this crazy blue guy wearing this golden armor. So if he's just like a regular looking guy, I feel like he's going to be a lot less cool. But then again, it sounds like he'll be actually more of a villain than Namor in this movie, which I'm cool with. But wow, that is a lot to digest about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. But clearly, based off everything here, this is going to be a much bigger movie than we initially anticipated. I mean, Doctor Doom's rumored presence is the biggest tease here and surprise, but this does really feel like a good place for him to cement himself as one of the MCU's new big bad skins, setting up for some huge stuff. Just have a small appearance in this movie, set up for some big stuff going down the line, and yeah, it makes so much sense. I'm so excited for this, guys. None of this is confirmed or announced by Disney or Marvel Studios, so of course just take this with a grain of salt, consider a rumor for now, but I think this is pretty likely to be true, and I would love to see all of this stuff come true in Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about these rumors and reports of Doctor Doom's presence in the Black Panther sequel, as well as the roles of Atlantis, Namor, and Atuma in Black Panther Wakanda Forever? So guys, thanks for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I can keep it up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.